feel like it took me forever, but the landscape version is complete. Hi there, my name is Ivanka and welcome to my channel Scrap and Coffee. I have a project share for you today, the landscape version of my 2-for-1 mini albums volume number 1. In my previous video I've showed you the portrait style album, and if you haven't seen it yet I will put a link on top where you can, if you click it, it will take you to the video where I show you this album. And finally I'm done with the landscape version. It took me a while to get it all decorated, but it's done, so I'm going to show you that one in this video. So like I said, the tutorial is called 2-for-1. It's available in my Etsy shop. I will put a link down below in the description box where you can find the tutorial. And like it says in the tutorial, it's one tutorial and you get the instructions for both these albums. And they have like the same design elements, only one is for the portrait style and one is in the landscape style. So I'm going to show you this album right now. So this landscape style version I've decorated with the Farmyard Friends paper collection by the Paper Boutique. And if you want to know all the elements that I had from this paper collection and what I've used, again I will put a link on top to a video where I show you all the papers. It's a really cute paper collection, but it's more designed for card making than for mini album making. But of course that doesn't mean that we cannot use it on mini albums like I'm going to show you right now. I think it actually turned out pretty cute. So I did a little bit more of an elaborated cover, and when I placed it next to the portrait one I think like maybe I need to do a little bit more on that one, but yeah, who knows, I can still do that. So I've just cut up some different papers out of the collection. I've used quite some strips of the solids just to make it pop a little bit more. I had some die cuts that I've used. You will see this sort of style a little bit more in the album. I fuzzy cut some of the flowers out of the paper, and yes, I did that with my scissors. I don't really enjoy doing it, but I just felt like it needed something. Yeah, so that's the front cover, and then on the back cover I kept it pretty plain and simple. Also the spines, maybe like I've just punched that out of one of the papers. Maybe I will put some on the spine as well. And this is magnetized closure here, so we can open this up. And again I have 3 pages in here. All 3 pages have the same design. Just switched up with the decorations a little bit. And we start with our feature on the front inside cover. It's the same feature that I have in the portrait style one, only this time I've made this a loose element, so I can just remove that, magnetized, open it up, and then we can flip this up and we have photo space for 4 photos there. And here you can place another photo if you want, and I just decided to do something with one of the cut aparts out of the collection. And here it says family isn't an important thing, it's everything. And I think that's really true. So put that there and that will stay in place. And you do need like 3 magnets because of all the layers that you have to go through. And then here, this is one of the cut aparts again from the collection. These really cute animals. That made me fall in love with this paper collection and wanted to try it. Photo spot on the back of that. And this is what keeps everything closed here. And then in this album, a little bit different than my portrait style album, I went for a little bit of different style for decorating and using my photo mats. Normally, I will show you later, I won't layer everything, and I did it in this album just to show you that you can do it, but you have to be careful and not do it everywhere. You need to combine it. That's how I feel about it. But a little bit silly, but I was watching an episode of The Crown on Netflix and I saw the Queen flipping through her photo book, and the photos were in there with photo corners, and I was like, hey, I have photo corners lying around, I'm going to use them. So I did that in this album. I've decorated the page and I've placed a photo here with the photo corners, and this I would remove this and then replace it for a photo, because otherwise the bulk will get too much in this album, I think. But yeah, it's up to you, of course. So I've done this quite a lot in the album, but not everywhere, and I will tell you where I think you should not do it. But yeah, we can open it up, and then here we have 2 angled pockets, another photo opportunity there. You could place another photo in there if you want. I just have like 1 everywhere just to show you the opportunity. and open it up again. So here, large area. I did 2 photos on the side, and then here we have a belly band where you can place 2, maybe 3 photos behind. I just have 1 again. And here I did the same thing as I did in the portrait style. With these 4x4 cutter parts that you have here, I've cut away the background and placed acetate behind it, so you have see-through window there. Maybe this is a little bit better to see it. And I just think that's just another fun element, but it's time consuming if you want to do it. So, but the results are pretty amazing if you ask me. So I'm going to close that and put that back there. Keeps it in place, no magnet needed. Here I show you that you can place a large photo here if you want to. Now personally I don't make a lot of landscape style photos, so I show you that you can also do different things with that. Acetate window here, where I've put in a large photo mat, and here again I've used it and the animals in the paper collection to show you with a nice frame, and you can just place some photos in there, just throw them in or stick one down. Maybe you can also do a small one here if you want. And on the back again an acetate frame, and here I did a photo. So I didn't decorate the back because you're not going to see it when it's in there, but you definitely can place some pattern paper and then put your photo on top just to make it, yeah, give it a more finished look. Then we have our photo flaps. See, again, one of those cute animals. I made it pop by putting it on some solid and then some black. And this is just decorative, so no photo opportunity there, but I don't think you need to put photos everywhere. Open it and open it. And now here I didn't use the photo corners because here I think it will give too much bulk. You already have the 2 flaps in between your fold. There is no gusset there. So you don't want to bulk it up even more in those layers here. So here is where I've placed my white cardstock that represents the photo. So you can remove that and replace that for your photo. And then fill in the rest with my pattern paper to reduce that bulk. And this is magnetized. And then the back side, a pocket here with an acetate window, and here I did a little bit of the pocket matting, just not cut into that image but keep it there. Back there with some black cardstock, and yeah, you can place some photos or other stuff of course in that pocket. And then the design will repeat itself. So here I've placed a different size photo in the pocket just to keep it closed. Again, I've used the photo corners, and what I like to do is the papers that I've used here on the page that I ended with, I start with the same papers here, so you get a nice flow, a cohesive look, and I really like doing that. And here I went a little bit crazy. I just thought like I need to break the solid up a little bit, so I just put in a strip and some more, and that's what makes it take so long. Just decorating one page like this. It took me maybe 6 hours to do one page. So, and you don't have to do it like this, of course. It can be way quicker if you just don't make it so hard for yourself. So again, here the pocket, I've placed a little photo opportunity there. And then again that belly band with that acetate window, just to give it that extra touch. Photo opportunity there. Now this is a really small one. You could also use it for a little bit of journaling, of course. Close it again. And then we have the acetate window once more. So you see here on the previous page I had the large photo, and here I did a smaller photo. I just placed some pattern paper, used the photo corners again, and made one photo opportunity. That's perfectly possible as well. Again, this you can remove this, and I just love that little animal there. Again, here I did the photo spot on this side of the frame, same thing. And then we have the photo flaps again. So I've just repeated the same matting style, only used different papers. Photo opportunity. Here instead of a landscape one, I did 2 small portrait style photos. Just to show you, you can play around with that. Just because it's a landscape style album doesn't mean you can only place landscape photos in there. Because also these loose photo mats, you know, even though you place it in here like this, you can still use that for a portrait style photo. That's perfectly fine, of course. So again, some of the pocket matting to keep that image. Repeat the same matting style as I did on the previous one, just to give the album a cohesive look, even though you are working with different papers. And then the last page, again, 4x4 cut apart, small photo opportunity there. I didn't want it to cover up the image of the flower too much. The 2 angled pockets here with a small photo in there. And then again, the belly band with a little ducky. And here I really had to piece in some papers, as you can see. So I went a little bit crazy again with, I wanted to have the flowers, but not too close to the frame. So I've cut it up, put a strip of solid, and then some solid, yeah, how do you call that, gingham plaid? I think it's a gingham. And yeah, just break it up a little bit. And yeah, for some people this might be too much, too busy, but I kind of like it. And again, just put the photo behind there. And you can add more, like 2 or 3 photos you can place behind that belly band. And then here, again, we have that acetate window, this time with a little piggy. And here I just did 1 portrait style photo, but place it in between. So this is the photo that you can remove and replace for your actual photo, and just combine it with the pattern paper without bulking it up. Here, photo opportunity again, and the photo flaps. So room for some smaller photos and 1 larger photo. And then our last pocket here. Again, just keeping that image intact. Cut a part out of the collection. You don't have a lot of this, it's in the embellishment pack, but there were like 2 3x4 cut aparts in there. And then some smaller stuff. And then here on the back inside cover we also have those 2 angled pockets for photo opportunity. And here on the back I did a small like booklet for photos. And that's the back inside cover. So I really enjoyed making this album. And again, it took me quite some time because I did all these crazy things with the little strips. It's time consuming, and making the windows. But it doesn't have to be. But yeah, if you have the time and you want to put in the effort, you can, yeah, what I feel, make something really beautiful. So I'm really happy with the result of this album. And finally, I will show you quickly. This is the bulk right now with the photos in there and the layering with the photo corners that I've used. So you do have that space in here. And you can bulk it up a little bit more, but I wouldn't do too much more, because also that feature in the front inside cover creates a little bulk. But this is like stretching it almost to the max. But yeah, really happy with this album. I think it looks pretty great. And of course you also have the portrait style version of this album. And as you can see when it's laying next to each other, I think I might need to do something with this cover, but then again, sometimes less is more. So yeah, but you can of course go however you want to go with your albums. So if you're interested in the tutorial, the link is down below in the description box to my Etsy shop. I hope you enjoy the album, and yeah, I want to wish you a very good day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.